Good morning, Fraser. Saturday morning. A little rainy out, but not bad. A little wet. I don't think it's raining actually, but not sure what I'm doing today. But Guy hooked up that motor to the bench, power supply, whatever, and it worked. So whether the jostling, broke it free from whatever was going on, or maybe the connectors at the were faulty. I'll put new connectors on it, but I'm probably gonna put that back on today. But beyond that, who knows? Let's see. Oh, I got this. I gotta get up to Dad as well. So Nelson, my cousin, back east in New Brunswick, there. He how do you describe it? He submitted Dad's name for a thing for the 100th anniversary of the Canadian Air Force and stuff, and Dad was one of the 100 or so names picked, and Dad has a banner on a street lamp kind of thing going into the Air Force base, is my understanding, the airport, one of the two. The banner's big. The banner's like about 3 feet by 4 feet by the looks of it. So Nelson was going to send that out, but I said, I can't do that, man. I can't put that in his room. So I had him send me the original print, and I put it on canvas for Dad. So that's what it looks like. It's got plastic on it, so I don't know whether that's coming up well, but that's pretty cool. So I'm going to put that in Dad's place. Hey, bud. So we're back at the church. Guy brought this back with the motor. So I'm going to go up and I'm going to put the motor on. Allie's here to help me, just to make sure I don't fall off the ladder, and call 911 if I do, and to turn breakers on and off and stuff like that for me. And after we do the breaker and I say, okay, everything's on, I need you to come back and flick this switch on, because this is a switch for the fan. Okay? Cool.
Not reluctant, or not, I am reluctant. Not here on my own, yeah.
Allie's not happy to be here. Right, up here on the roof. I'm gonna try and rewire this a little bit. So I'm just rewiring, I'm just putting the new connectors on right now. New connectors. Ignoring me, let it cut off, but you haven't called me back, so I assume all's good. Oh, good. Woo! I don't know, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Hello? Hello? I don't know why. I don't like Mondays. Okay. I am still here. Okay, so I'm going to try and put this through here without dropping it. That'd be good. Oh, nice. Whose? And, why? Okay. Gotta hook it up first by the looks of it.
Interesting. Is it? Why is that? Oh, I'm just trying to figure out how to, how this works. Come on now. Trying to get it up and in there and around. Working on the ground. Not literally, but, like figuratively. Well, literally, but not, terra firma. Does that make sense? No? I feel like I'm losing control of my fingers. There we go. Okay, that's good. Now, this should go into here. I presume on there. I presume. Yep, on there. Good. You still there? Okay. Just checking. Making sure you didn't go out for coffee or something like that. I know. I had the time of my life, and I never felt this way before. Oh, I swear. It's weird because they can't hear me on the video. But they can hear me, they just can't hear you, right? So, it seems a little weird that I'm singing. But I'm talking to Allie on the phone, you see, so that's why. What's that? Allie says I normally burst into song regularly, so that's fair. It's a fair point. Why would it, be strange to you? So I gotta seal it up. Double check. I know this is ridiculous to do it now, but I will. Just check. There we go. Come on, baby. There we go. That's okay, we'll figure it out. There. And there. And how's that going? Back is on like that. Like that. Okay. One at a time. All right. You're pacing. Why are you pacing? Allie's pacing. Okay, that's good. Probably shouldn't have gone quite this far, but so be it. Okay, so we are all hooked up. What I would like you to do, can you hear me? Okay, I need you to go in and turn on the breaker and make sure the breaker doesn't, trip again or spark or explode or, something like that. All right, let me know when you're in the room. I know, I'm sorry. It was... You're right. It won't spark. It won't spark. Okay. Go ahead, show me what you got. Push the button. That's the whole point of the button, is that it doesn't hurt you. No. Are you near the button? Wow. I apologize. I didn't realize you went over to Comox, and I'll wait for you to get back. It's okay. Okay, flick the breaker on. No sparks, no trips. We're good. Go into the boys' bathroom. Flick it on. Flick it on. Yeah. Okay, so turn it off. Turn it off. Okay. Turn. Yep, turn it off. Do it. Let's do it one more time. Flick it on. Oh, okay. Turn it off. It's possible the breaker broke now. The breaker flipped. So it's turned off right now. Okay. Go in and check the breaker and make sure the breaker's turned off. If it's not off, then turn it off, please. Which means that it's tripped. It's fully off. Okay, thanks, baby. I'm gonna. I gotta take this off again because we need a new motor. All right, so the breaker tripped because the motor's not. I think the motor's just old, and it doesn't have the strength to power this thing. So, I'm sorry, babe. I'm talking to Fraser. Yeah, but sorry. I just assumed that. Yeah, okay. Sorry, my bad. Yeah. So, taking it off again. Going to double check. Allie has turned off the breaker, but in the spirit of safety. Yep, done. All right. It needs a new motor. All right, so let's take off this. There we go. Belt is off. I'm actually going to leave all of these things right here. That seems sketchy, but it's not, because there's nothing going to force them into there. And boom, boom. I'll put most of these up into here. And again, as long as we don't, do anything foolish with them, they will be fine. There. No, I'm still taking the motor apart. It is all good. That wire's detached. Okay, she is detached. she is detached. Now we close her up, and then we're going to load all our stuff and head on down. We'll figure something out yet. What? Oh, I see. Is Katie in there cleaning? Nice. Okay, you want to go and unplug the thing? Whatchamacallit thing? The extension cord? Eh? I think you said you're going. Man, I should have brought the camera over, but you know, I got confused and stuff. So, Allie's idea was to use the extension cord to lower everything down instead of carrying it down on the ladder, and it actually worked really, really well. So, I say actually, but it was a brilliant idea. I know it, you know it, we all know it. I don't know where Allie went, but that worked out nicely. Hello? I was lowering down the extension cord. All right. Yeah, no, that's good. Allie gets nervous. Where are you? Hi, Allie! Did you see that? She did a raspberry thing to you. That's not very nice. All right, let's go down the ladder. The ladder is very stable. It's incredibly... Turning off my phone. See you again with the glasses and the stuff, right? But, love you. We're down. We're down. We're done for the day. She looks so happy, doesn't she? She looks... Not really, I don't want to see Bumblebee, but that's okay. I'm going to go put the ladder away and then we're going to get out of here. Hey Fraser, hope your day's going well today, bud. Yeah, I just kind of wasn't really sure what I was going to be doing today other than potentially meeting Guy with the motor. And it was supposed to be pouring down rain today, so I wasn't going to do the motor, but it was not bad. So I went up and I installed the motor, as you can see, and it wouldn't move. The motor wouldn't move. It was trying to make it go, but it was like, and it wouldn't go, and eventually tripped the breaker, right? So, and I was trying to push. I couldn't get that part. I know I tried at the end there, but it was already the breaker had already tripped by then. But what I was doing is I was shoving like moving the belt while Allie had it turned on, so that it would go and it would move for a very slow minute and then stop. But the fan itself is not seized, and the motor itself is not seized. It's just so old it just doesn't have the torque that it needs to do the job anymore, right? So now the fun part is trying to find a motor. Trying to figure out where I can buy a motor, how I can get a motor. Not sure where. But anyway, got up there and did all that. Took it apart, or put it back together. Tested it, took it apart. Brought it back down. Allie was sketched out the entire time that I was up there. Which is why she was off taking
pictures of the snail and the bumblebee and stuff because she was trying to, you know, not think about me being up on the roof or having to come back down the roof more than likely, because the fact that I was up there was fine, but she really didn't like the wooden ladder, the old crickety wooden ladder that I used to get up there that wasn't quite tall enough anyway. But the flat roof is actually quite nice. It's got a decent little ledge to it that you can kind of hold on to when you get up that high, and it's actually more comfortable getting onto that roof than it is with that ladder than it is most other roofs with the you know, the ladder that goes on past, right? So it wasn't a big deal. But it's a couple of nice shots. I like the snail and the bumblebee shot. They were well done. That was about all I got on video today. After that, I got a call from Craig again. He had found, or was going in to find the blueprints to the CE building so that we could take a look and see what was going on as far as that weird situation with the thermostat in the bathroom that doesn't turn on the heater, because that's turned on by itself, a thermostat in the heater, but the thermostat that's on the wall turns on some sort of a fan that feels like it's got some heat to it, but it's very, very light, and it's kind of pushing in through the exhaust fan. So we're really not sure what that is or how that's supposed to work or where it even comes from, for that matter. Which I guess is the next thing, is to narrow that down. I've got to relabel that panel there anyway. Although I don't think that's the panel. Anyway, it strikes me that because the breaker for the fan is in the back room where the major electrical room is, not the panel in the hallway, that probably whatever breaker the thermostat's on is on the same panel in the back room. But if we can narrow that down, then maybe somehow we can figure out what those things go to. And we brought in Rick Kirk today because Rick's done maintenance there for forever, kind of thing, right? And he's a wealth of knowledge for that building. He's been around, I think, before the CE building was built in the church, which was in '81 actually, when that CE building was built. So he's got a ton of background knowledge. But even still, you know, if he didn't, and a lot of things he didn't have direct contact with doing that, so he doesn't know. Like, he doesn't know what that would be, what the thermostats would be for. So much is lost. I told Craig he was going to have to write a book today. Well, he doesn't have to write it today, but I told him today he was going to have to write a book, because he's kind of keeping track of all this stuff now. So for the next generation that takes over the church, so they don't have to go and rediscover all this stuff again, right? But it's very interesting. You know, we're finding all sorts of different little things. We found a bathroom that we didn't know was there today, but it's always something new. It's always different, right? So it's never it's not boring. It's not boring. There's always interesting stuff. So little surprises here and there. I like the investigation. I like the so what I'm thinking we're going to have to do with the whole double vent thing, probably from the top, probably from the roof, I'm thinking I'm going to take a string and tie it around something and put it in the upper vent, and then just blow it with the shop vac and see where it winds up, see where it ends up, because it's got to keep going, right? Theoretically, that's the only way I can think of to do that. I still may not help, but it might be something. Anyway, we'll figure it out. We'll figure out lots of things. Wednesday's going to be fun. Jumping to Acts chapter 12. So King Herod arrested some who belonged to the church, intending to persecute them. He had James, the brother of John, put to death with the sword. When he saw that this met with approval among the Jews, he proceeded to seize Peter also. This happened during the festival of the unleavened bread. After arresting him, he put him in prison, handing him over to be guarded by 4 squads of 4 soldiers each, so 16 guards. Herod intended to bring him out for public trial after the Passover. So Peter was kept in prison, but the church was earnestly praying to God for him. The night before Herod was to bring him to trial, Peter was sleeping between two soldiers, bound with two chains, and sentries stood guard at the entrance. Suddenly, an angel of the Lord appeared, and a light shone in the cell. He struck Peter on the side and woke him. "Quick, get up," he said, and the chains fell off Peter's wrists. Then the angel said to him, "Put on your clothes and sandals." So Peter did so. "Wrap your cloak around you and follow me," the angel told him. Peter followed him out the prison, but he had no idea that what the angel was doing was really happening. He thought he was only seeing a vision. They passed the first and second guards and came to the iron gate leading to the city. It opened for them by itself, and they went through it. When they had walked the length of one street, suddenly the angel left him. Then Peter came to himself and said, "Now I know without a doubt that the Lord has sent his angel and rescued me from Herod's clutches and from everything the Jewish people were hoping would happen." When this had dawned on him, he went to the house of Mary, the mother of John, also called Mark, where many people had gathered and were praying. Peter knocked on the outer entrance, and a servant named Rhoda came and answered the door. When she recognized Peter's voice, she was so overjoyed that she ran back without opening it and exclaimed, "Peter is at the door." "You're out of your mind," they told her. When she kept insisting that it was so, they said it must be his angel. They figured he'd died. But Peter kept on knocking, and when they opened the door, they were astonished when they saw him. Peter motioned with his hand for them to be quiet and described how the Lord had brought him out of prison. "Tell James and the other brothers and sisters about this," he said, and then he left for another place. In the morning, there was no small commotion among the soldiers as to what had become of Peter. After Herod had made a thorough search for him and did not find him, he cross-examined the guards and ordered that they be executed. Herod was not a very nice man, from what I understand. So he was quite happy that the Jews were happy with him for killing James, brother of John, and so he was planning on doing the same to Peter, but making a public spectacle of it and hoping to gain more popularity. The believers were all together praying for Peter. An angel of the Lord came and saved Peter, literally walked him out of prison. Peter didn't even know what was actually happening. Peter thinks this is just, I'm dreaming, until suddenly he's in the middle of the street and the angel's gone, but he's not in prison anymore. So he's like, this actually happened. So he takes off and he goes to the house, and the same thing. The believers in there, when he's knocking on the door, they're like, they don't believe it. When the girl, who's A, too excited to let him in, but B, goes back and tells him, they're like, he's in prison. Like, I know we're praying for him, but don't be ridiculous. He's in prison. Maybe it's his angel. Maybe he died in prison. It's possible, But they had no concept that it was actually Peter, that God could have actually rescued him from the prison, which he did. So, yeah, it's funny. We really say we because, believers, people who pray, anybody who believes in God, who has a relationship with Jesus Christ, we should really be more accepting of miracles when they do happen. But we have a tendency still to doubt. It's kind of human nature, I guess. But the fact of the matter is, God is real. God wants to have a relationship with us, and in that relationship, he has interaction with us. Those interactions are miracles. We shouldn't be surprised. If God created the entire universe, if God created us to have a relationship with him, if God sent his son to die on a cross and be raised again so that his blood that was shed cleanses us from all sin, so that we can have a relationship with him, why should it be so shocking to us that he actually interacts with us and shows us things and does miracles? We shouldn't be surprised at all. We still are, but we shouldn't be. God loves you very, very much, but sent his son to die on the cross and be raised again for you and for me. I love you too. I miss you. I look forward to seeing you soon. And I will post more tomorrow.